Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of River City Ransom for the Nintendo Entertainment System played on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode we did a whole bunch of shopping, and we also defeated 3 of the 4 zombies. We defeated the 3 zombie henchmen, Blade, Mojo, and Turk, and defeating those 3 will give access to the leader of the zombies, Thor, in the abandoned wheel factory. We're going to start making some progress toward the abandoned wheel factory, but we're not going to actually fight Thor in this episode. We're going to be mainly doing a whole bunch of shopping. We're going to be clearing out this mall here, the second mall, the waterfront mall. We cleared out the first mall, the Grotto Mall, in the last episode. We'll also be clearing out the secret shop on the Armstrong Thruway. That's the one that has all those interesting items like Excalibur, Zeus's wand. So, not much really to talk about in terms of plot going on here. Like I said, we already know what we have to do. We have to go find Thor. Defeating Thor will allow Ivan, the gate guard at River City High, to appear. River City High is where Slick is hiding out. He's the big bad in this game. He's the one who, kidnapped Princess Sarissa and threatened everybody that he was going to steal away all the treats, and prevent them from adopting rats at the rat rescue. So we gotta stop him, but unfortunately OCD kicks in, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I have to get every single item in the game, so to show off what they all do. So, well, luckily there is no time limit in this game. You can take as long as you want to do whatever you want. So if you feel like maxing all your stats out like I'm doing here and seeing all the little flavor text that you get from getting items, go ahead and do it. So, I remember when I was growing up, my brother and my cousin John played this game a lot. We didn't own this game. We did own Double Dragon, which was also made by this company, so I think that maybe that's why we rented this game. Back when we were growing up, you had video rental stores. It wasn't like today where you have Netflix and you can get stuff streaming, and I don't even know if Netflix still does do videos where you have them. They send you physical copies of movies. There was no such things like the red boxes outside of like gas stations or some like CVS's wall greens. We can just put in some money and then rent a video. There's actually big stores. You had Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. There was local mom and pop stores. We had West End Videos on the main street in Pottsville. We also had a smaller chain in the Kings Village Mall, where I grew up. We just go and you can rent movies, but you can also rent, video games. I remember this is, I think, a popular one that we used to rent. Another one that was pretty popular that I'll do a Let's Play of was Blaster Master. So, looking back, these games ain't too long. If you watch a speed run of this game, people do it in like 6 minutes. If you know what you're doing. Blaster Master, I think people do that in like 30 minutes, but back then, it was a different time. You didn't have internet. Smaller games like this didn't necessarily get strategy guides. So if you want to discover everything, you had to, do it on your own. You had to figure things out on your own, take notes, write things down. You make little maps of stuff. Copy down passwords. You had little notes. That was really interesting. The instruction booklets. A lot of instruction booklets at the time that told you how to play, how to use the controller and stuff like that. Gave you some little tips and hints. They'd have a little section in the back where you can keep little notes and write notes in them. So that was a pretty little interesting thing there. But yeah, my brother and John would play this game because you can play 2-player. This game, when you play 2-player, it's not like Mario Brothers where you take turns individually. This one, you're both playing at the same time, so you can kind of gang up on gang members. On bosses, you have one person on each side of the boss, and you can just hit him from one side. If he's blocking on one side, the other person's going to hit him from the other side. So it's one way to take care of bosses easily. Another good thing about 2-player mode is if you get knocked out, you lose all your stamina, you respawn. If you're playing 1-player, you respawn in the last mall and you lose half your money. If you're playing 2-player and one of your characters gets knocked out, if the other person leaves the screen before your partner who got knocked out like disappears, they'll be revived in the next screen, and they won't lose half their money. So that was one thing you can do. There's friendly fire in 2-player mode too, which means you can hit your friend. So one thing you can do is say if you were like no health, you just like get to the edge of the screen and have your buddy beat you up, and then when you start flashing, the buddy just takes one step, goes to the next screen, and you're back to the next screen with full life again, and you wouldn't have to worry about losing your money. So it's I guess a way to kind of cheese the game, but I guess it's okay to cheese the game because if you think about it, you're like a 1 or 2 man army, depending if you're playing 1 or 2 player against like a whole bunch of gangs. So yep. So hey, take advantage of it. But I remember, like I said, my cousin John and my brother would play this game, and one time they played for so long because they were doing basically what I was doing here. Actually, a little bit more in depth. They were just buying things, writing down what stats they increased, and they were trying to figure out, what was the best thing to do to max out all their stats and just to see how powerful they could become. And it kind of became a joke because John really liked the Grand Slam ability, and that's where you, with the weapons, you hit the attack button with the weapon once and you do it 3 times. And you just thought it was really, really funny to go around with the trash can, because it was just so absurd to be running around hitting people with trash cans with maxed out weapon. But actually, it was like a joke, but running around hitting people with trash cans. But actually, the trash can turns out to be the most powerful weapon in the game, deals the most damage. So TV tropes would call it the lethal joke weapon, where you have a weapon in the game that it's kind of silly and you wouldn't think would be all that good, but turns out to be like the most powerful thing in the game. I'm thinking of Ultima Runes of Virtue 2. There's there's a ping pong paddle that hits ping pongs, and that's like the strongest thing you can get, or one of the strongest things you can get. A ball and paddle is also one of the 3 weapons you can use to defeat the final boss in Beyond Shadowgate. It's a lesser-known sequel to Shadowgate. It's a good game. Unfortunately, I don't have that game. It wasn't released on the Wii Virtual Console, and I guess I can always look up on Amazon to buy a copy of it and maybe do a playthrough of it. But they also made a remake of Shadowgate for the PC, I think in 2014. Looked pretty neat. They had a whole bunch of new puzzles and stuff like that. So even if you were familiar with the original Shadowgate, you still some new things to get in the remake version. But anyway, in Beyond Shadowgate, one of the 3 items that you can use to beat the game are the Staff of Ages, which you use in the first Shadowgate, and that's basically like its magical staff that, there's a special sword, like, that's, the most powerful sword, like, in the game that can fly around and, basically, like, control telekinetically, You can use that to defeat the Warlord, the Warlock Lord. And then the final thing is ball and paddle. One of that old kids games where you the ball is attached to a string to a paddle, and then you just see how many times you can bounce the ball on the paddle. But yeah, that's one of the other things you can use. It's kind of the joke ending though. You don't defeat the Warlock Lord with that. You give it to him, and then like he gets so enthralled with it, he like loses his desire to conquer the world. So yeah, maybe sometimes bad people, all they need in this world to be good is just a distraction, something to keep them from, doing evil. So show some love to those bad people, maybe they'll change their ways. So right now that we're just showing bad people the feet, so we still have, we've got a few stats pretty high, but I don't think anything is maxed out other than our kick power. There's a tire over there that's one step below the garbage can. That guy has the tire right there. And the tire's unique in the sense that when you throw it, and if it hits something, it'll roll back at you. So it can actually damage you. So if you throw it against the wall, it rolls back and it might hit you. So the crate just keeps sliding, and same thing with the garbage can. Although you can kick the crate, and the stronger your kick power is, the further it goes. See, we have max out kick power, so we basically kick that crate all the way across the screen. You can kick it into enemies and deal some damage to them that way. We'll throw them up against the wall like that. Lefty. That was my grandfather's nickname, because he was left-handed. So, I have a few cousins who are left-handed. They say left-handed, you know, it's genetic and it comes from the father's side, the paternal side. So, well, that was an interesting way to get up there. Didn't mean to do it that way, but so yeah, unfortunately I'm not left-handed. I think my nephew might be left-handed though. I have to ask my brother that. I think he said that he was, so one of them may be left-handed, my nephew or niece. Don't know, but I'll see them. I might see them in a little bit. So for Thanksgiving. So, but all right, let's take out these guys here. And whatchamacallit, we fight the boss here, Rocco. Rocco and Moose are the two kind of mini bosses. Moose was the first boss we fought. Here's something interesting. Rather than go all the way across the screen to fight that guy, if you have a weapon, you can sometimes go through that little barrier there. So, yeah. You're able to take out that guy without having to crawl around and do all that jumping. Yep, here we go again, Rocco. Rocco's Modern Life. Cartoon on Nickelodeon a long time ago. Never watched it, but knew of it. So I think the only cartoon I watched on Nickelodeon was Ren and Stimpy, like the first 2 seasons of it. First one was on like Saturday mornings. My one friend Steve got me introduced to it, and then the second season popped up on Nick at what's it called? Nick at Night, or I don't know what it was called. Nick at Night might have been from like an older folks show, but there was at like Friday nights at 9 o'clock they had a little block. It was Ren and Stimpy, Are You Afraid of the Dark? So, but watched it there. And all the TV shows I watched as a kid. So, one of them was that I liked was Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. So, just like how the developer of this game liked kung fu stuff, and with Bruce Lee, I liked Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. It was on Wednesday nights. Used to watch it 8 o'clock with Kwai Chang Caine, and he'd go around helping people. So, one of my favorite actors was a guest star in that show. Hal Leong. He was one of the an evil warlord who was after Kwai Chang Caine. Al Leong, a lot of people don't know who he is, but they know who he is in a sense. He's in so many movies. Stereotypically, he's the stereotypical Asian thug. He's in Big Trouble in Little China. He won the Wing Chang Hatchet Man. That's how he's credited as. He was in They Live. He was a detective. I think it's one of the few movies where they don't show him dying, or he may not die. He was in 24, Ulai, a henchman. He was in Die Hard 1. He was Ulai, the terrorist who eats the candy bar. He was in Lethal Weapon 1 and 4. He was the dude zapping, I think, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 1. And even though he was killed in that movie, they brought him back for Lethal Weapon 4. But yeah, he's in so many movies. The ship captain in Godzilla, the American remade version. And speaking of Godzilla, hey, perfect timing. The Rodan's wing. Rodan is one of the monsters in Godzilla who can fly. Didn't watch a lot of whole lots of Godzilla. At one point in time, when I came back from basic training, after I completed basic training and advanced individual training in the Army, I went on hometown recruiting which is 2 weeks where I basically went to high schools and talked about, what I experienced in basic training in AIT. I went with the recruiters. So it was 2 weeks at home before I got to my first duty station. And while I was home, I hung out with some of my friends who I grew up with. And one of them got really big into Godzilla at the time. He'd make me watch all the Godzilla movies. But unfortunately, I was so used to basic training in AIT where, I'd be going to bed at, 9 o'clock, waking up at 5:30 in the morning. That was my sleep schedule. That, he'd want to watch these movies and it'd be like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I'd always fall asleep. And he'd always be like, don't you like Godzilla? You always keep falling asleep during the movies. It wasn't that I didn't like them, it's just that I couldn't sleep. My sleep schedule was all messed up. So, but I wish I could get back to that sleep schedule. But oh well. So that's what melatonin is for. Yeah, my psychiatrist gave me melatonin to help me sleep for if I ever got super worried or had issues sleeping. So don't take it often though, because man, that stuff knocks you out. Some people say it doesn't work for them, but I know for me, if I take a melatonin, I am out. So, wow, we maxed out. Well, it looks like we're still, strength is maxed out, so that's why our Acro Circus is knocking people over. Willpower's maxed out, stamina maxed out. Defense is very close to being maxed out, 60, 63, and then there's a few more that are a little bit further away, but there's another zombie again. Might as well take him out, get some more money, because we still have another whole mall that we have to clear out. The Flatirons Mall, where we got the Texas Boot, and then there's another mall that we haven't got to yet, the Oak Hill Mall. So, Flatirons is the really expensive one. To buy everything in that, we're going to need $745.50, and Oak Hill is $225.70. So, we're going to have to once again basically max out on money. But luckily, our good friends Benny and Clyde will make a second appearance. They said, if we looked at their dialogue when we were fighting them, they said, hey, this ain't the last time, we'll be back. And they do keep their word, they do come back, but they come back with no improved stats. They're the same in both areas, at the beginning and at the end, so yeah, at the end they're basically a pushover because you're so much stronger than them. But hey, that's okay, we need their money, so yep, we did it again. So yeah, don't have a lot of money, but we'll get more money eventually later. So yeah, we have 2 whole malls to clear out, but that'll be for a future episode. So here's the password if you want to take it down. Take care, have a good one, and see you in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye.